Hey, residents of Meepletown, today we are building up civilizations.
How about that?
But you know what, John? We need some help. I need help build my civilization. So should I go to other civilizations and ask for help?
No, you should go to the aliens.
Why not?
Today
Right?
we should have made 10 foil caps for this intro.
Oh, yeah. That's a good call. So we're going to get help from the aliens to build our civilizations. In Origin, the first builders. First builders.
All right, Dean, we have Origin's first builders. He hesitated because he wasn't sure if there was a "the" in
Or
front
if
of
it was builder. But why would it be builder if we're multiple builders? That's dumb, Dean.
Yeah, you're kind of dumb sometimes.
That was a rookie mistake. That's why I need help from the aliens, because I can't do it on my own. I just can't.
I'm kind of dumb sometimes, too. We all are, huh? Can we laugh at ourselves? All right, a couple dum-dums are going to teach you a game right now.
Do we talk about
Let
the
us
theme?
know.
We're just going to let that go until we get
hold
to our
up.
thoughts.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Let us know if we make any mistakes. Okay. The theme's going to be pretty fun. We'll leave it for our thoughts, y'all.
Okay.
We're going to dive in and jump into this game.
I just
Okay.
want to make sure people know
Go ahead.
this is a civilization game where we're getting help from the aliens. Did I make that emphasis clear enough? Is that...
That's
All right, let's go.
that's accurate.
I don't know of a game that does that.
All right, Dean. So you actually ready to play this game? Stop
Let's do
talking
it.
about it and let's play it. We do start off with one of every resource, so let's grab those bad boys over.
Bing, bing, bing.
In this game, we're going to have stone, wisdom, and I think that's kind of fun. Hey, I need to get some of. Can you hand me a? Never mind. It's close enough. It's kind of fun when you're playing this game because you're constantly like, man, Dean, you need a little more wisdom, and I'm like, man, I really need some wisdom now.
Where can I get it?
That's it.
From the aliens. I'm going to keep going back to that.
I think I'm going to sneeze here in a second.
Is that...
This is riveting video. Okay.
Oh my.
With that being said, we also are going to snake draft at the beginning of this. So we're going to take 2 of every one of these dice
Yep.
colors. We're going to roll them up. So
By the way, we have a
we're going
stat.
to do this live, except for you can't do a 6. Well, I'll just keep it as a 2.
We have a stack of all these. I'm just going to toss these over.
Yeah,
to
the
you.
stack of them are off camera because we're just trying to save some space. All right. Oh, that was a 2. Look at those 3s and 2s. We cannot do a 6, and you'll see why here in a second. I'm going to be the first player, so I'm going to select one of these. And I am thinking, wow, having wisdom in 4, and you want to match colors, you'll see that as we play. I'm going to go ahead and grab this bad boy and place it into my
yeah.
population base. And now this is a Freeman. Not to be confused with Fremen
That's
from
right.
Dune.
That's right.
What if in the middle of the game, the Fremen came and saved everybody?
All right, I think...
There's something to that.
I know John likes orange. That's just the general color orange.
Aren't you glad you're going to get
And this
that?
is a good bonus on here to get for that. And you get 3 of those
is,
stone.
yeah.
I think I'm going to go ahead and
There's
take
also
this.
that juicy purple one.
I think I'll take this and put it in my base. And then...
But you are right about that orange. I like this bonus here. Now, just so you know, these are all randomly placed. So at the beginning, these come off, which we can talk about in the art components, but orange could be over here in, one game, could be over there to where it lines up with these different things. So that's kind of cool. So I'm looking at these and I'm thinking, well, purple's nice because as they get higher value, it's just better for selecting these actions. It's also better because there's the chance that they can become advisors for you, which gives you more flexibility with your Archon. So most of the time you want higher ones. But man, I like this because this gives you another die to use in a whole for that round. But you know what? I'm sorry. It's your turn, Dean.
Oh, that's right. It is
Snake
snake draft. Yes, that is correct. I think what I'm going to do... Ooh, I do like the idea. Now, if I'm going to be able to get some of the stone up here, I know that I want to be able to build, so I might as well go ahead and take this purple one, which is going to give me an opportunity to potentially build 2. This is a good setup right here.
Yeah, that made my decision easier. I'm also interested in blue because blue is what's going to help us. I'll explain, but I can get more of these citizen dice, which can be big, but I'm going to take this orange. Dean was right.
You did take it.
I do like the orange. I do like having some orange powers. All right, leave those off there. How do you play, Dean?
All right, so you're going to be placing... Who starts this game?
Me.
You do. That's right. So John's going to be placing a die down here, up here, and he's going to be taking the actions.
That's right.
And potentially getting the bonus if he places the matching color. But what John needs to pay attention to is this number. You can't see this, but there's a number. There's a 1 right here. Now, we can color this in with marker, and that would help.
What do you think? Does that make you? Is that difficult to do?
We'll talk about that a little bit later.
Okay, yeah.
For us, it's not that difficult to see from where we're sitting.
It's not too bad.
For you, you probably can't. Anyway, this is a 1. And when John places a die here, or I place a die here, this is going to turn up to the next notch there. So it progressively is going to get more and more difficult because your dice are also going to age, but they might not age as rapidly as what those ships are spinning around. So something to think about.
That's right. Okay, so as I'm placing these, I can either place one of my Freemen or I can place my Archon into those spots. Now, the cool thing about the Archon is it doesn't have a value. So if it was a 6 on here, I can pop my Archon there. Now, what happens when I place a die, let me just... let me see here. Actually, yeah, let me do this first. I'll explain this to you by playing it. I'm going to place my orange here. When I place my orange here, Dean was right. This is going to move up to 2. Now, I cannot place here unless it is the value or lower, unless I want to give wisdom. So if this was a 3, I could place my 2 here and give up 1 wisdom. If it was a 5, I could give up 3 wisdom to place here. But now I'm going to choose between one of these 2 actions to do, unless I have a value 6 die. The value 6 die allows you to do both actions. So that's one of the reasons to have it up to value 6, but it's kind of like Teotihuacan, where now the die is gone. And it's power. It does some stuff for you after it doesn't die. It's an advisor. Teotihuacan, they die off, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
So I can gain 3 stone, or I can move up one of these track spaces in the arena, and I can attack, which you'll see as we play. And then if this color matches, I get this bonus, and that bonus is I get to pick one of these. And that's why I jumped here first, so I could get the better one. Yeah. Though I don't know if it will matter, because they're all pretty low right now. And
it could come into play if the orange,
it's possible.
If you want to use the orange one or something like that.
I say that to say, if I had put my Archon here, I would get to do one of these actions, but it isn't a color, so I wouldn't have been able to get that. As the game progresses, when these get up to like 6 value, they're going to be placed down in here. And when they are, now my Archon is orange. And it can be orange and blue and purple. And as the game, again, progresses, your Archon becomes more and more powerful. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and do this. I think I'm going to start off by, I don't know, like Dean loves this little track here. I think I'm just going to take some stone, though, because stone is going to help me build some of these buildings here. When I go to that action, I'll explain kind of what are some of the goals that we have going for. I'll get one of these actions, so 3 of those, and then I get to select one of these. This is a one-time use for the round, and I'll have to give it back.
That's right. Okay, I have a map in my mind of what I want to do. By the way, I said that you're going to place a die, which you will do that a lot. There's actually several different actions that you can take on your turn. None of that we're going to be taking at the very beginning of our turn, but closing a district as you get buildings out there and building tower levels that will be multipliers for your points at the end of the game, and then growing your population, which actually will happen. You'll maybe even see that, who knows, but that's paying for one of these and moving it out of spot so that you've got an extra place to add a die.
Yep.
And you could have the potential of having a...
It's one of the reasons I thought about taking the purple die. Now, I don't have to place orange in this spot. Just so you know, you just don't get the bonus. So if I really want this wheat, I can place this 4 in this purple spot. I just don't get the bonus for using it in the same spot.
That's right. And in all reality, I might not even use that bonus anyway, because to build 2 buildings right off the bat might be a little bit too much for me to be able to afford, potentially. All right, so I am going to take that die. Whoops, yeah, I did move that up already, right? I did.
Yep.
So I'll take this die. I'm going to put it over here, and then I'm going to take the... I am going to take the 3 stone, as you can imagine, because I'm going to be building soon, and I'll need the stone.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
I think I'm going to place this 3 here, crank it up, and I could go ahead and build. All right, let's talk about this right now. I think it's a good time to.
Okay.
All right, so these are configurations that we're trying to get into our little cities here. So we're going to be grabbing these tiles and placing them out. It doesn't matter like what orientation it is. All right. as you can see here, if I get this configuration, the first time I personally get it, I get 12, right? Sorry, 12 points. The second time I get it, and from then on out, I get 7 points. Now, I don't block Dean from getting 12 points. The bonus to getting it first is you gain these 2 coins, gold, which those are wild resources and can be very powerful in this game. So I'm looking over there. I'm looking at, like, this first one right here cost 0 wisdom and 1 stone. Plenty of that. You know, the negative is, Dean, there's no purple in any of these goals to go for.
Yeah.
Now, they do have little, bonuses like
good bonuses.
Yeah, like that allows you to add 2 to one of the values of one of your freemen. And that happens when you place it, and then later on you may see it. We can set it off when we close the district, which is one of the actions. Man, this is kind of tough to decide what to do here, because another part of me is, I think I'm just going to do this instead. I think I'm just going to take the 3 wheat, and I'm doing that because I think I'm going to unlock another one of these so I can get another die.
Yep.
So I will take the 3 wheat, and then I don't get that bonus because it doesn't match the color.
Yep, and that is your turn. Now, what I kind of don't want to do is just keep following in John's footsteps, right? Like, I don't want to keep doing the same things you're doing over and over again. But I know
thinking the same thing.
I know that I want to build, but the fact that John took this action but didn't build makes me think he doesn't care about building right now. So what I might go ahead and do.
But you're also thinking, I don't want John to get more dice than me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I probably shouldn't do that until I get a better die. I want to go up here and go ahead and take a die. But if I do that, I would have to first take an action to grow my population. Right now, I only have 1 wheat, and I can use a gold for that. I just don't think that's what I want to do. Because
you can see on the board here, I think you probably see that. It's going to cost 2 wheat for him to unlock another place to put a die.
Yeah, and by the way,
you cannot take those without the base.
I think you said this already, but you can place your die anywhere you want. You just don't get the bonus. Okay. So I'm just going to keep doing the exact same thing that John is doing.
Wow. Must be making great moves. Wow.
Okay, so I'm going to take the... Ooh. I'll need the 3 wheat for the same reason John is, but man, I can actually build 2 of those buildings right now. That one would let me up my pips. This one would let me get 1 basic resource, food, stone, or wisdom from the supply. I could use wisdom right now, but I could also use wheat.
You could use some wisdom right now. See, that's what I'm talking about. It's just this game is a hoot.
All right, I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to build twice, which means I'm going to lose this wheat that I have, and maybe I can.
So you took the wheat action.
I did not. I did not. No, I decided not to. I'm not going to take the wheat action.
I'm
going to take this build action, and then I'm going to pay a wheat to take another build action. So I'm paying the wheat. I'm just going to do them both at the same time. Okay. I'm going to take these first 2 right here. This one costs 0 wisdom and 1 stone. Mm-hmm. This one's going to cost 1 wisdom and also a stone, right?
That's right. Yeah.
So I'm just going to buy both of those. Now, do they help me with this configuration up here?
Kind of.
The yellow one does.
The yellow one does.
Not exactly, but it's fine. It is what it is.
Gray, by the way, means any. It doesn't mean it has to be gray.
Yeah. So I think I'll put the yellow one down here, thinking that I will probably work towards this configuration. And so if I can get 2 oranges right here, then I'll be on my way to, or I will have it. Anyway.
And he gains that bonus.
Again, that's going to give me a resource, and I will take a... Wisdom is always really nice to have, but I think I'm going to take the wheat that I'll need to be able to upgrade my population this round if I can. Then I'll take this one, and this one's going to let me add 2 to the value of any one of your unused freemen.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
How about that?
Got to read the cards. Tiles.
All right. Let's put this one back. Put that one back. I didn't realize that. Sorry about that.
You're good.
So that one only cost me 1 stone. I did pay my 1 stone of wisdom for this one. So I am going to keep buying this one. But I instead...
You're going to take this.
I'm going to take the wheat.
So he's basically taking the 3 action, and you can do these in any order, by the way.
Yeah.
Now,
and also, instead of taking the wheat as my resource, I'm going to take the wisdom instead. There we go.
There you go. And then what will happen is all these will slide up. So the whole game, you're only able to buy these in the market. These are just showing you what's happening. Going to come up next. So this is going to go to the bottom. So now if I want yellow, it just got a lot more expensive because Dean jumped and went to it, which I was okay with because there's only one yellow one right here. Yeah. Okay. So with you doing that, I think that I'm going to go ahead and jump over here and grab some wisdom. I'm going to grab 3 wisdom, but I'm going to go ahead and spend 1. So I'll just take 2. And that will allow me to either move forward on this or attack. And I will move forward. When you pass these bad boys, I get this, which means I can exchange it to take another turn immediately when I want. Now, I'm going to go ahead and explain this real quick, just in case we don't do a lot. So it's kind of cool because the attacking isn't really mean.
It's not mean at all.
So for those who, not at all. Yeah, so for those who don't, maybe you like the meanness, but sometimes you don't have to worry about it. What happens is if I had taken that and I was in this spot, I would gain a victory point for all these things that I'm past, plus any players, however many players are behind me. So I would have gained 2 victory points for that. And you would get whatever my disc is not next to anything, but if I was next to something like the wheat here, I would have gained 1 wheat and 2 victory points, 1 for passing that and 1 for being in front of Dean. So it can be pretty powerful, up to 9 points at the end of the game. Dean went crazy last time we played.
I did. I screeched up the track and just kept attacking as much as I could and getting those points. Now, when you do that, you are getting a lot of points, but you're also like not getting points in other places. So I don't think it's overpowered. It's what I did and it worked last time.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to take the grow population action. So I'm just going to pay 2 wheat. And I'm going to bump up this population. Now, John, I don't have a die in there. What do I got to do? I'm going to have to be able to take an action that lets me get a die.
That's exactly right.
So John, in his mind, is thinking Dean is going to be taking this action at some point.
John is doing the same thing Dean just did.
However, are you going to double your action?
I might. That's what I'm thinking
that's what I thought you might do. Okay.
Yeah, so here's the thing. If I want to use this, it might make sense to use it now because it depends on what die I want here. And I don't know what Dean wants. Dean has 1 wisdom.
Hey, whoa.
I think it's public knowledge.
Yeah, I only have 1 wisdom.
So it's interesting because these are higher value and cost more wisdom. But that blue die is interesting to me because it's the one that lets you, in this game at least, go out and get more.
Yeah.
And it's super tempting for me to just run it back again just to grab that. That, the yellow is not bad either for 2. I mean, I could get just a way to grab some resources, also a way to screech up this track. You can give up 1 to 3 wheat to screech up this track or raise the value of your Freeman that you have, which is really nice as well. I think I'm taking that blue die, Dean. Sorry, buddy.
That's okay.
I think I'm going to spend that. And also, I'd rather maybe save a little bit more of my wisdom. So I will lock and load there.
You did have to put something there to take it, though, right?
Mm-hmm. What? What's happening?
You can't just take that die. You gotta.
Oh, whoops.
There you go. So I didn't care that you did that as much because I had another option in mind.
Okay, hold up. These are sliding down, and we're always going to have the same amount of colors. And I don't get this action because my Archon doesn't have any advisors. I think that's the right term here to make them blue.
Yeah. Now, my other option is I can place my Archon here. Yes, I can place my Archon there. I can also place it. That's the only place. Yeah, I don't know. I've got some options, I guess. Part of me wants to come up here and just take the 3 wisdom. But I'm not. I'd like to have some other resources moving forward. So I'm going to place this here, and I'm going to take this action, which is going to give me the other wisdom that I need and the wheat and a stone here. Okay. Or whatever those terms are. Are you done?
You need to crank up the base.
Oh, you still have another...
Crank up the space base.
Oh, Christ. You know what? That was stupid of me. I didn't realize. I forgot that you just bought your dice. Oh, well. That's all good. Because you're going to put it right there.
Yeah.
I was going to place mine there, but I forgot that John just purchased his
dice. You can use
the
wisdom. It's not like we're going to finish this game anyways.
That's true.
I mean, if you want to put that there, is that what you were talking about?
No. It's fine. It's fine. Like you said, we're going to finish anyway.
Yeah, it's okay. So instead of buying a die like I did last time, I'm going to go ahead and grab I don't know, like part of me wants to... I'm going to take a wisdom. It's almost like you can't have enough. I'm going to take a wisdom and a gold, which is quite nice, which is this up here. And then I'm going to take one of my stones and go ahead and spend it to go up this track. So I will go up here. And a couple things about this. If you were to take this action, you'd get to go up 2 spaces on any of these temples, and then immediately take the bonus or steal it from another player.
Yeah.
And as long as it's sitting in front of you, you get the bonus of it. Right now with this action, I'm just going up the temple track, and at the end of the round, whoever's the highest in each temple track gets the card back to them. So I'm going to show you this right now. I want to go up this track because at the moment, when I get that, I could treat, oh my gosh, the bonus action as just grabbing a gold. And there are definitely times in the game, particularly like going here if I didn't have the chance to build, where it's not really helpful, or here I'd rather have a gold than one of the other resources because I can use it as anything. So I think that would be good because these others have to do with building towers and closing districts, and I'm just not there yet.
Yeah.
So I think I might use that more. So anyways, I'm going to do that, and I got my stuffs, so I'm donezo, and that needs to crank up.
Yeah. Now, again, hindsight, if I wasn't such a dummy, I would have taken this action before John so that I didn't have to spend anything to be able to do that. But in doing it in this case, I get to show you how that works. So I'm going to put my 2 here, and you're thinking, hey, this is a 3. You can't do that.
Yeah, you can.
I can.
All you need is a little wisdom.
You got to have some wisdom to do it. But I'm going to spend some wisdom. And
I also have to have some wisdom to know which tray to put that in.
That's right. Talk about that for the components. And then I do have a gold, and so that's going to matter for me. I am going to take this action where I get an additional die to put into here. And so that'll cost me a wisdom, 2 wisdom, to take this one right here, which is one that I tend to like a decent amount. Yeah, and it'll pay off even this round. It'll pay off. What I didn't want to do is buy either one of these that I wouldn't be able to use this next round necessarily. The 2 red I guess I could have used, but I kind of wanted to have a little bit of a higher number. So we'll see how that plays out. But
I am passing.
You're done. Okay. So I only have one more. I am going to put it right here so that I can.
You hand me the what die did you just take?
Oh, look on there. There we go. There we go. So I put this here. I'm going to raise this up 1. I don't think I had already done that. And then I get to take one of these, and then this one I am going to. I think I'm just going to load up on resources for the next round. Hopefully that'll pay off for me, even though you're not going to see it because we're not going to play the next round. But
that's right.
I could have, like John said, used some wheat, and I did have 2 wheat, and I could have moved up on this track. I probably should have done that to move up 1 at least so that I have that token, and I'm a little farther along, but I need resources too. And then I'll just take another resource, so I'm just going to take a wisdom right there. So I'm prepping for my next round.
Okay. Now, when I passed, I was actually at that moment, I think, supposed to take back my dice, but I knew he was just about to, so I figured we just do it at the same time. Okay.
How do you know? Maybe I want to buy...
You don't.
Yep, I don't. I could have moved
so
up.
We're going to take our Archons back and nothing happens to them, but the dice that we take back here, our Freeman, they're going to go up. They're going to grow up a little bit.
Grow up, Freeman.
That's it. They're going to become wiser. Look at that.
I've got some really high-value dice right now.
I'm getting some there.
Which you might think, hey, that's great. High-value die, but you're going to have to replace them too. So we're both going to have to be thinking about that.
These are going to grow up too.
Look at these little guys.
Oops. 4. Did you raise that one up?
Yeah, 3 and 4. It's 2 and 3 is what it was.
Okay, and then we're also going to, it's interesting here, is you're going to go back to the spot that's closest to that bad boy. So if I were all the way up here, at this moment, I would go all the way back there. If I were here, I would go back here to that stopping spot. So that's why Dean said, hey, that might not have been bad. I could have went ahead and jumped up there, but he didn't do that.
Yeah.
We're also going to look at these tracks and see that I'm winning in this one. The rest of them, no one has got off the board. So I'm going to take this, and that's going to be what I do. So, you want me to talk about in-game scoring and stuff like that at this moment?
Yeah. Go for it.
So, can be really interesting scoring. So you're going to have scoring in the middle of the game, as we mentioned, by getting these configurations. But let's go ahead and...
Let me show you a closed district right here. How about this?
One of the moves to do is you can close districts. If you do, you're going to take one of your freemen and put them in there. And now guess what? They are permanently in there. So this game, you're constantly having to make sure you're getting the citizens and making it work out and getting freemen. But when he closes this, he will set off every one of these tiles that has the same color there. And unless it's in the Agora right there, it would set off that as well. But not only does he do that, but at the end of the game, what he's going to do is, let's just say he built some of these towers.
And two of these.
And the towers cost the amount of gold of discs you already have there. So because there's one disc there, his first tower only cost one disc. Now that there's two discs there, he takes an action to spend 2 gold to raise the tower there. At the end of the game, you're going to multiply your tower level times all the orange dice that you have are going to multiply that. So 4 times 3, that's worth 12 points.
Yeah.
If you had a 5 over there, he'd also do 5 times 3, which is another 15 points, which can be pretty nice.
Yep.
Right. Also for in-game scoring, you're going to score the lowest 2 discs on these tracks. So let's just say I scorched up to 70 and I got up to 31. Well, hey, guess what? I'm only going to score the 31 and the 3. That's what happens to you.
Yeah.
But if maybe I didn't care about this one, I got all the way up to 70. I'd still score 170, 10. That'd be worth 70 points. That ain't too shabby, huh? I can't remember if your goals were some points. That's pretty terrible. I forget at the end of the game. Hold on. I just consult the rule book. This is a professional channel. Okay? Yeah. Also, these are going to be worth. You're going to be worth the amount of points of how far you've gotten along. And so, let me share that with you as well. Is when let's just say this was a 6. And then on that last time, when they're supposed to be upgraded, instead of lowering them back down to a 0, to a 1, which is what happens here, by the way, 6 goes to 1, I'm going to place them here into this advisory role if there's not one of the same color there already. So if there was already a red, instead of scoring a red, I would actually score the points next to the furthest die that I had there. So if I was this far down and I got another red, I would score 6 points. Mm-hmm. But again, I mentioned this earlier, when this goes here, the cool thing about it is now this guy is red. So I can place him in the red spot and get the red bonus. If I had a blue advisor there, it would be red and blue. So I can place it here or here to get those bonuses. So there's a lot of tug and pull between that and maybe using a 6 to go into your district to make it worth more points. So let's see, 1 point for every leftover gold. I was right. Yep, we got it.
Nailed it.
All 4 of them.
Nailed it. We crushed it. I'm sure that's not actually true. I'm sure there are some issues along the way that we probably made mistakes. Definitely some strategy mistakes.
Let's stop talking about mistakes and get to art and components.
All right, let me talk first because I've already kind of made mention of this. There's a lot of things I like about this, by the way. I really like the box cover art on this. I think it's excellent. I was gonna show you, but I can't reach that.
You have a little Tyrannosaurus
long arm. John can show you that. Or how about you hold it up here? There we go.
I don't know why I always do that.
So there we go. I like the art on the box. I think it catches you. It kind of shows you, hey, this is somebody's building up a civilization here. Is that a mothership on there?
Yeah.
What is that,
real neat.
Yeah, it's eye-catching. It grabs me in. The board art doesn't really do much for me, but it's not like a detractor. It's just there. Let me go ahead and say,
I feel you on that.
My biggest complaint for the game is the resources. Let me show you this. I'm going to show you these two because
they're pretty similar.
They're the ones that are most similar, although you've got gold and you've got the wheat ones there. When you're looking down at the table, I cannot tell you how many times in this, actually literally right now, and I did not do that on purpose, where I go to, I've done it multiple times.
What's happening right now?
Where I put the gold, or I've grabbed a gold instead of grabbing a wheat. They are so similar, and I don't understand why. Maybe is there a deluxe version of this with, I don't know.
I don't know.
I kind of think there is, but I don't know if it changes the resources. I don't like that regardless. I wish that was different because it's frustrating, and it happens to me a lot.
There you go. So I agree with you. I think the box art's really great. I like the art on the tiles pretty well. I'm not mind blown by them, but I think they're pretty nice because they're kind of small and you have the words and stuff on them. So I don't know if you pay a ton of attention. Did you pay a ton of attention to the art on the tiles?
No, but I do like it. Yeah,
that's pretty good too. I'm into that. Mm-hmm. I agree with you. The board is functional. It's fine. It's actually laid out really well, graphically designed.
Yes,
because of these numbers really stand out. All this stuff stands out. It's pretty clear where you're going here. So all that's good. I like these nice places to put these. You don't really fear where anything goes. You have no fear. You know exactly where it goes, pretty much.
And because of the iconography, you're not going to refer back to the book a lot, which is huge for me. You know, like I love not having to go back to the rule book a lot. And so I'm with you. I think it's clear.
The linen finish is cool on the cards. These are fine tiles. My complaints would be I agree with Dean on that, and just these pips. Man.
Oh, that's right.
The pips are bad. Yeah, it's like. It is like depending on what the lighting is, like it could have a glare, or if it's more dimly lit. If I were going to have this game, I would use a Sharpie or something to color those, because it's just like, man.
Unless you're going to play predominantly 2-player and you're going to be sitting where you can see the board pretty well, then it might not be that big of a deal. Like the way John and I are sitting right now is not that big of a deal. But it is an issue, absolutely.
The other thing that I thought was strange is that you have the colors green, blue, brown, and black for your Archons, for your Freeman, and yet the player boards and these are like pink, yellow, blue, and I don't know where the other one is. Like a teal, right?
Yeah.
And teal. And that's what the player boards look like. I just thought that was really odd choice.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they be blue, green, brown, and black like everything else would be? I don't know. Maybe someone will write why that was, but I just thought.
And there are a lot of colors. You've got the dice and the buildings that match up, and all these match up. But so you have to then have colors that don't match up with that, and that becomes a challenge. I guess maybe I don't know.
Like this is one of the weirder Arden components we've done in a while. Like a couple head scratchers. Like overall. I mean, maybe not. I wouldn't say overall it's fine. I would say overall it's not great. The art's kind of cool and the graphic design's good, but it's like a couple little missteps.
For me, the resources is the biggest deal. This I can get by. I don't mind putting Sharpie marks on there or whatever. That's and the color of the players. Yeah. Who cares? I guess.
None of it makes me go, I don't want the game because of that. But it's just kind of like
flipping the table. John's mad.
I don't know. It's just kind of like
he opened up the box and threw it against the wall. That was all right. Let's move on. I will say it's the longest we've talked about Arden components in a while for a game.
But all right. So is the game fun? Do we enjoy it? You start.
Let me tell you what I like.
Oh, you go.
Let me tell you what I like about this game. There's a lot that I like about this game. I love
Go D.
That's
a reference to The Office.
I got you. I really love the dice placement on this and how these move up. Now, I will briefly say this. John might talk about it a little bit more. We might later. It can be frustrating because you have to plan well, and you can just not be able to do anything with your dice because these are really high and your dice are low. So you have to think through that. Mm-hmm. You have to be able to take advantage of the things that allow you to move up the pips on your dice or have a lot of wisdom. But I like that. I really like the building, particularly how you have different stacks of colors. They could have just done, let's do one big stack and we'll do these buildings. But then you're like, man, the orange are never coming out or the red's never coming out. And I need that for that configuration. Yeah. The reality is they're always all out. You always have the option of the colors. It's just you want to pay 3 wisdom for this one. You might want to wait for a little bit. Yeah. But I really like this, and I wish more games would do that too.
I like that too.
Sorting stacks.
All right, Dean. So some things I like about the game, and I do want to address what you said. Like the very first time I played this, what you said about these dice, my wife and I had a couple moments where we were kind of screwed for a couple of rounds, because we were not planning ahead. I actually love that about the game, though I do think it could be a place of frustration the first time you play. Yeah. And she's only played once, and that frustrated her a little bit. I would really like for her to play this game more because I think as soon as you really know how very important it is that you have dice, because at the beginning, man, you're doing whatever you want. Go here, go there. But when these start to say 4, 5, 6, then you better have dice that can get you there because your Archon can go to a spot. But besides that, you don't want to be stuck with nothing to do. So but I think that's cool because I like games where you're planning ahead. And if you're thinking like that, great. I also really like how there's just multiple ways to score victory points in this. I feel like this is that kind of a 3-weight, a little over 3-weight, Euro game that's not overly complicated, but multiple ways and paths to victory. And I think that's cool. Like this track, I could go heavy on this track. I could go here because I could use this as an engine throughout the game. Maybe Dean's not doing much, and I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points every time I take an attack action.
Yeah.
I could do that 4, 5, 6 times in the game and score a lot of points that way. Maybe pop off to the 9 at the end. You can work on these configurations and score a lot of points that way. Last game that Dean and I played, who won that game? Was it me, like, barely? Or did you end up winning even though whatever.
I can't remember now. I'm going to say I won.
Okay. I don't think so.
Oh, actually, I did because of this.
You won with this? Is that right? Because I was going heavy building, but it doesn't matter who won. The point being, it was razor thin close. And, like, we were sitting back going, okay, that's pretty... I think I won.
You check your app while I'm saying something. What John was saying up about here, I want to because this really is kind of the crux of the game with these motherships. This game is high in player interaction, and it's not like I'm going to tear down your buildings. That kind of player interaction.
You were the winner.
There we go.
And it was a close game.
Though.
Yeah, it was a close game. So that's cool.
But there's tons of interaction in this, but specifically in this, and this might be frustrating for some, but I really like it because you might be sitting in the game and you're playing, and John takes a quick glance over at your dice, and you're like, "Oh crud! I did not want him to see," because I might be sitting on a 5, and it's on a 5 here. And John might have a 5 or a 6, and it's going to take this just so that it moves it up to a 6. And now, if I want to take that action with my purple die, then I'm going to have to pay a wisdom. And I love that kind of player interaction because you have to pay attention to everything that your players are doing. And you can, in a lot of ways, you can kind of anticipate what they're going to do by the dice that they have, by the configuration of the board, by where they are in this track or where they are in this track. I like that a lot. I think that's cool.
Yeah, and here's the thing, you might be like, that's mean, but you know what would be meaner? If you couldn't take it because there's only one worker placement spot there.
Yes.
There's not. So, there's a way for Dean, if someone raises it 1, just have some wisdom on hand and you can still go there.
You say that, but wisdom is tough to come by.
It can be, but if you pay attention, you're trying to keep some on there and you're not just blowing it.
Yeah.
Blowing through it, you can have some to where you don't get messed over like that. So,
which go along with this up here, then you might think, okay, well, just make sure you have red die, or in this game, make sure you have red die so that you can come up here and take 3 wisdom. Absolutely. But you don't just need wisdom. I mean, you in a good balanced way, you really need to have all the resources. Yeah. You have to have stone to build. You have to have wisdom to to configure your dice and to buy things. You have to have wheat to be able to open up your population, which I used this a ton. That last game used this one, spent wheat, and then was able to come over here.
So the last game was where you messed me over at the very end. Whenever I told you the strategy, I was like, "This is what I'm trying to do, but I can't figure it out." Finally figured it out, and Dean's like, because there was one of these discs left. He's like, well, I'll just take the disc even though it doesn't help me. And I was like, that's a good move.
And it was.
I should have not opened my mouth.
You should.
I think you already saw it. But.
30 minutes talking about it. But anyway, there's those are the main things. Again, some negatives in that, but
also I was going to say there is a little bit of a player interaction race 2 on these because 2 gold is actually pretty important in this game. It's victory points, 2 victory points, or 2 wild resources. Your player interaction here, everything is player interaction here. It's like, all right, if Dean takes this blue, now I know blue is going to be 3 wisdom, which can be really expensive. Or maybe I just really like that tile and he went and got it. Race to those and see who gets those. So it's like,
you can't be like. You can't be in every race, if you're not in this race here, you better be racing on here.
Yeah, you can't spread yourself too thin.
But yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah. But I think all the different options are viable.
I think
but you don't want to spread yourself out too much.
Yeah, it's got that. Yeah, it's got this cool heavy player interaction, but it doesn't feel meanness. You know what I mean? And I think that's really nice. The other thing I just want to mention is these player powers are cool, and I like the way the districts work in the sense of not only building them out to get the bonuses immediately, but that in-game scoring, the tension of what to do with these dice, the tension of should I put a 6 here or wait for my 6 to go into this advisor role so that my Archon is now more powerful. And if I put this there and I get 3 discs, that's 18 points at the end of the game. That's a heck of a lot of points. Maybe I'll hold off till later and hope I can get a 6 later. Yeah. Those are interesting. I think it's really kind of brilliant how you have this Archon that becomes increasingly powerful. over the course of the game, and you can start doing better actions with them. I think that's really smart too. So I'm good for final thoughts if you are.
Yeah, I absolutely am. Again, there's a lot to like about this game. There's some negatives. A lot of the negatives for me have to do with the components though, and those are things that I can work around in this game because they're not deal breakers for me. I love how this works. I love how the buildings come out. They all come out together. The race to all these different things. The aging of the dice. There's so much that I really enjoy about this game. So for me, I'm going to give this one an 8. This is one that I'll play a decent amount, I hope. This is one that I would not ever mind getting to the table. I just think it's also not a super long game either. Like it feels
60 to 120 on the box. I think 2 players it's been
60.
Yeah, maybe a little bit over.
That's right. But you can whittle that time down, and part of that depends on how things
like a stick.
How you're taking your turns too is how that depends. But when John takes 50 minutes to take one turn, it's going to add.
When I talk it through, I'm like, hey, and then I want to do this team, but I want to do that.
So anyway, really like this game. That's an 8.
Yeah, I don't really have a lot of complaints. Again, positively, I like that it's a game that I could play with a lot of players. It's definitely not gateway level, but it's also not that ultra kind of heavy. So I like that. But then on the flip side, negatively, like if I could say one negative thing would be maybe I would like a little more juice, like an expansion or something to like add a little something extra.
I mean, there's no juice in this game.
Little extra juice for me, but
like grape
for
juice?
Being able to play it with other players. I think it's a cool little weight, for a lot of folks. You have, again, just all the different ways to score points. I think that's nice. And the best part of the game, in my opinion, is that player interaction, is the racing here, is the way that the attacking works, is the way these dice turn and stuff like that. I think that's all good. I'm going to be right there with Dean. Pound it, brother. There it is. 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10.
So, and it's a solid 8 out of 10. This is a good one.
But you want more juice.
I wouldn't mind a little more juice. I think this is Adam Kopinski, right? Anyways, and he did Nemesis and crap.
Yep.
Multiple really good games, and now I'm drawing a mind blank.
Me too. There is no juice in this game. I don't understand.
No, but I said that to say I would love. I hope that it does well enough. If it does, to maybe get a little extra juice. Hey, Adam, if you design an expansion, would you call it the Juice Box?
Please don't call it that, please. 8 from John, 8 from me. Tell people how they can get in touch with us.
If you're enjoying our channel, we'd love for you to subscribe. You can go to patreon.com/MeepleTown to support what we're doing. We're at Meepletown Games on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And BoardGameGeek3407.
Thanks for coming down to Meepletown.
Thanks for joining us, and thanks to our Patreon supporters for making content like this possible. If you would like to become a Patreon supporter, go to patreon.com/Meepletown. To follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, find us at Meepletown Games. Finally, to connect with us and other residents of Meepletown, you can join Guild 3407 at BoardGameGeek.com. Until next time, thanks for coming down to Meepletown.